2017 has started on a very high note, and by that I mean in a very negative way. So you may have already heard of the disturbing kidnapping and torture case in Chicago. If not, well, 4 18-year-olds have been arrested for kidnapping and torturing a mentally disabled white 18-year-old who apparently had supported Donald Trump. One of the perpetrators live streamed the incident on her private Facebook. Her name is Brittany Herring. As my fellow countrymen tend to say, the nation needs to know their heroes. It's sarcasm. Herring has since then deleted the video, but it can be found all over the internet. In the video, the man was cussed at, physically harmed, and forced to do and say things he would not do, such as fuck all white people, fuck Donald Trump. He also was forced to drink from the toilet. He was punched around. He got cut in his head, a very deep cut. I personally am enraged. I don't even live in the USA, but this got under my skin, mostly because you see 4 individuals, barely legal, smoking what looks like pot, probably drinking alcohol, and suddenly feeling like the kings and queens of the world. The sheer disrespect and violence directed towards that guy makes me want to think violent thoughts. A majority of people who will view the video will also feel the same way or similarly, which brings me to the next point that pisses me off. There's a probability that this incident will be used as an excuse for white assholes to attack random black people. As much as we'd like to preach peace, it takes these sorts of incidences to muddy the waters and bring out the worst in people. And when that happens, typically people act before they think. In other words, these 4 idiots stain the already bad reputation of a demographic group in which many are just trying to live their lives in peace. Well, not anymore. Another possible issue that people already are seeming to worry about is that the justice system might give that group lighter sentencing because they're black. The police so far assumes it's not politically motivated and it's not a hate crime. Commander Kevin Duffin, however, seems to push the narrative that because they are 18, it somehow makes their actions less serious. And I quote, "Although they are adults, they're 18. Kids make stupid decisions. I shouldn't call them kids, they're legally adults, but they're young adults and they make stupid decisions. That certainly will be part of whatever or not we see a hate crime to determine whether or not this is sincere or just stupid ranting and raving." So the first question comes to mind, does it really matter if they're 18 or not? In any other situation, I think this would be treated as a hate crime. Not to mention that, what do you mean stupid? If they were 32, that means that now all of a sudden they are legal adults, they should be charged as such, and just because they're 18? It doesn't work this way. Come on. They fucked up just phenomenally. Superintendent Eddie Johnson calls it stupidity. I think part of it is just stupidity. People ranting about something they think might make a headline. At this point, we don't have anything concrete to point toward the hate crime. But we'll keep investigating and let the facts guide us how this concludes. So fuck all white people. Whatever. There are numerous instances where you can find Twitter posts, Facebook posts of how black people, well, some black people demonize white people and call them cancer, the devil, and whatnot, and actively ask to harm the white people. Now, in their case, those are just words, but in this particular case, they're acting on their words. That's already one step ahead. This is not stupid anymore. This is deliberate. And the funny thing is, there's a mugshot of her with her address floating around Twitter and internet. Well, that is a charge she got in October 2016, and I quote, "She was arrested on October 4th and charged with retail theft of merchandise worth less than $300. And this is where the 1.5K bail comes into play. It's not about the torturing incident, it's about something else. I think as of now, we still don't know what is the sentencing or what they will be charged with. But anyway, the concept of right and wrong, I think, to her is completely gone. She doesn't understand that. In the video, apparently someone says that they find it funny. How is this funny when you gag and bind a person you have shoved in a corner? Well, like, what the fuck? It's just mind-boggling. The guy, by the way, was missing since December 31st, 2016. So he was on a missing persons list, which is even worse for them. And information flowing around, and police admitted themselves that the guy was completely in shock. He had to be treated for his injuries in the hospital. And then some people will still don't understand how severe this is. It's ridiculous. And because of the growing, as I would call it, concerns that they might get it easy, I found a couple of petitions which call out to sign so that Brittany and her accomplices will be charged with hate crime, because as of now, it seems that the major media seems to avoid it. I was more or less monitoring the whole actions and whole developments all day. There weren't that many news coming out, I guess. Nobody could come out with new news, no updates or something, or the Chicago Police Department is still pondering whether or not it's a hate crime. It's really funny. I also found numerous Facebook groups which call again for her to be imprisoned and stuff, and her Facebook, her sister's Facebook, and one of the guy's Facebook posts are just flooded. She in particular is getting it really bad because initially she was the only one whose name was known, and people are really very upset at this moment. So somebody ever so often leaks her profile, and in one of those posts she already has garnered and accumulated 4,000 replies, most of which are just people ranting at her and calling her a cunt and a bitch and to rot in hell. And of course there are those who are acting as apologists, claiming that it's not so bad or something. And the hashtag, of course, the hashtag, people seem to also be so upset about the hashtag, wanting to disassociate it with Black Lives Matter. I'm actually quite curious what Black Lives Matter has to say about this incident. Usually they don't speak about these sorts of incidences. They only speak up, they seem to speak up majority of the times, or the biggest resonance is garnered when a black person is killed by the police. That's when they stand up, that's when they go into streets, and that's why they riot. That's about it. I hope that this gets around. I hope this doesn't die. I hope they will get what they deserve, because this is taking it to the next level. Anyway, I hope they will get what they deserve. Everyone hopes. Let's Lord, hear our prayer. Universe conspired in our favor. I think otherwise people are going to be enraged anyway.